Hello guys, I'm Dean Edwards and welcome back to Proper Food. So quick question for you. Who's after a recipe for a gooey cheese and ham croquette? Check this out. Have you ever seen anything as good as that? So the first job of the day is to get our potatoes in the oven. So I've got a couple of baking potatoes here. Now check this one out. But does anyone else see the resemblance? Because I reckon this looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid. What do you think? I don't even know whether I can use it for this recipe now. It looks too cute. Comment down below, let me know if you think it does as well. Because I think I might be losing my marbles. I've got this other one here. You need about 200 grams. So what you do, take a fork and just prick the potato 7-8 times. And then you want to cook this really nice and slowly. So oven set around 160, gas mark 3, give it around an hour. And then you're ready to make the rest of the filling. So this potato's had an hour. I've let it cool down a little bit. So just take your knife and cut that in half. And you can just see it's beautifully fluffy inside. And that's what we're going to use to bulk out the filling for the rest of this dish. So the next stage, we need to make a roux. So here, I've got 50 grams of butter, 50 grams of flour. They're going to go into my pan. I'm going to cook them out for around 3 to 4 minutes. Get the butter in first. Let that start to melt down. And then into that, sprinkle in our flour. Give it a good old stir, and then cook that out for about 3 to 4 minutes. Once you get to this stage, it's time to start adding the milk. Now you need to add this gradually. So I've got 200 ml of milk here. Add a little bit in, give it a stir, and it will absorb into the flour and butter. It will really thicken up. And once it's absorbed, then you can add the next bit. Once it's absorbed all of the milk, this is what we're left with. And this is going to be the base for our croquettes. Lovely. That's done. Gonna leave that to one side. Now we've got ourselves a bit of an assembly job. So you just take your potato halves and scrape out the flesh into a bowl. And then what you can do is use a fork just to break that up into nice fine pieces. Just mash that down. Now you could use shop bought mash for this. It's going to cost you about 3 times as much. So just as normal baking potato will perfectly do the job. Next into my bowl, I'm going to add my roux. So that goes in, along with a really good pinch of salt, a grinding of black pepper. Get loads in there. We've got some ham hock. This has been cooked and shredded. You can get this in your supermarkets, already prepared like this. We've got 2 types of cheese, cheddar, and we've got some mozzarella going in there as well. Some fresh chives, just a small bunch, finely chopped up. And then finally, last but not least, I want a good heat teaspoon of whole grain mustard. Get that in. Give it a good old mix together until everything is well combined. Once all the ingredients are really well combined, get yourself a little tray, baking dish, and line it with cling film. and then get that into the bottom of there. Spread it out so you've got a really nice even layer, and then cover up with another piece of cling film and then pop that in the fridge, because we want this to set up for around an hour. So this is the sort of thing you can do the day before you want to cook these, then everything's ready to go. And there you have it. Into the fridge we go. Just to get it out, just loosen up the cling film around the sides and then turn that over, and that should come out pretty easily with a couple of pulls. There you go. And then all we need to do now is cut it down just to portion it up. All I'm going to do now is just take my knife, go straight down the middle, go middle again, middle over here, and then go down again, and again. So you've got kind of nice equal sized portions. So a great little tip for you before you start to shape these, just get a little bit of oil into the palm of your hand, rub it together, and then just take one of these and just start to shape it. Now, I remember from my old school days, they used to be kind of like lozenges. So that's what I'm going to shape them like. And then all you need to do is, once you've done that, pop it to one side and repeat until you've done it with all of them. And there you have the final one, and we are ready to flour, egg and breadcrumb. So in these bowls in front of me, I've got some plain flour, I've got a couple of eggs which I've just beaten up, and I've got some breadcrumbs. So all you need to do is go into the flour, just tap off the excess into the egg, make sure you get a good coating, and then straight into the breadcrumbs, and just toss it till they've got a lovely covering. Once you breadcrumb your croquettes, they're ready for the fryer. So I've preheated my oil to 185 Celsius, and they're going to be dropped for around 4 to 5 minutes until they're beautiful, crispy on the outside, and lovely and gooey on the inside. Once they're done, let them drain for a few seconds, and then we're going to pop them on some kitchen paper just to drain off any excess oil. So while the croquettes are still beautiful and warm, we need to season them up with a little bit of salt and pepper, just so it sticks to that coating. Just get that over the top of there. Now I know this might take the edges of my fingers off, but I just wanted to show you this. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything as good as that? Guys, thank you so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed this recipe, it's down in the description. And while you're down there, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And also leave me a comment as well, because I want to know what sort of things you want me to cook in the future. If you've got any other questions, feel free to ask, because for me, this is an interactive channel. These are my ham and cheese croquettes. They're gooey, they're unctuous, and I'll tell you what, they're damn good. Just gonna serve that up with a little bit of mustard mayonnaise. Here we go. Let's dive in and enjoy. Until next week, guys, see you then for some more proper food.